Paul.
Okay, Noel, we're down to the final game, the final of the Euro 2024 Championship finals. England versus Spain this Sunday, July the 14th, is 8 p.m. So, Noel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, intriguing game, Paul. England, Spain. I suppose out of the semi-finals, there are two deserving teams to be in the final. I think if you look at the whole tournament, I think probably people would say that Spain has played the best football. They've been the most impressive. They've won all their games for the six games they played so far. England have slowly, gradually gotten a bit better through the tournament. But I have to say, though, their performance against the Dutch was a massive step up, particularly in the first half. Maybe not so in the second half. Second half was a bit more even. But I think they deservedly won that game in the end. Ollie Watkins scoring the goal might get a little bit more interest. But yeah, I think the two teams that performed the best in the semi-finals and probably the best in the whole tournament, and I suppose the two best squads you could say in Europe are both in the final. So it's going to be an intriguing game, Paul. It's going to be two. Like, at the start, Spain, they had gotten to the semi-finals last time, the Euros. They had a poor enough World Cup. They've rebuilt their squad. They've got two wingers who are probably the two most informed young players, two of the most fascinating players for the future as well, and even now. I think the midfield with Rodri is very, 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 very good. Pedri, of course, got injured against Germany, but they've coped quite well actually. But yeah, it's two different sort of styles. Spain's more possession-based team. England, a bit more. I would say maybe England on form, a bit quicker. It's a bit more better to watch them, certainly, particularly from this part of the islands here in Europe. But look, it's going to be an intriguing game, and I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, again, Noel, before the tournament started, I would have known very little about Spain. As you correctly stated, they had a poor World Cup, so they've rebuilt their squad. And in fairness, if you look at both teams, they've been very strong at underage, under 19s, under 21s,
Yeah.
in the last couple of years. And Spain have brought in players through, and England are actually doing the same as well, Wilson. So in the background, we just talked about England. They've been very successful at underage, the underage squads. I also think they made a number of years ago. We all remember 10, 15, 20 years ago. England had great individual players, top players with their clubs, successful with their clubs. But when they came together, they were individuals, they weren't the team. But maybe about 7, 8 years ago, the English FA, the English Association, concentrated on underage teams, bringing the young players in together, building a team squad, and they're now starting to show the benefits. So in the background, England have been doing a lot of work, as the man said, behind the scenes. Maybe doesn't get much publicity. Now to the actual game, Noel, you're probably not surprised. I'm confidently predicting England to win. No doubt about it. I've been talking about it for the last, since the knockout game started. They have been brilliant, Noel. They have faced challenges each and every time they have faced a challenge, they have responded. In the semi-final against Netherlands, I was hoping that the Netherlands would score early, which they did. And straight away, England clicked into gear. Now, the goal, it wasn't a penalty, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And as you know, I'm totally against the machines and all this technology. Always against it, always will be against it. The referee saw nothing in it. But even if that penalty, which shouldn't have been a penalty, England would have scored anyway because they took complete control. That was a real top team. And then also, Noel, and I let you come in now, at the end of normal time, Spain were playing for extra time. It was obvious. They were just seeing, not Spain, sorry, I apologise. The Netherlands, sorry, I apologise. They were playing for extra time. England kept playing, they kept playing. And for the second time in injury time, they got a winning goal. I got a crucial goal. They have everything you want as a team. They have a brilliant squad. They're coming on. But as I said, Noel, and I'm repeating myself again now, they're not individuals. There's no egos on the pitch. They come on and they're playing as a team. They have their discipline. They have their shape. And I repeat, Noel, they're playing to the final whistle. That is all the hallmarks of a great team. And I fully expect England to confirm this on Sunday night.
Yeah, to be fair, just on the starting point you said there, Paul, like it's a big surprise that people might be tipping England to win. But to be fair, before a ball was kicked, I might have said to you before, England were the favourites to a lot of people were tipping England, to be fair. They have a brilliant squad. Like we're a bit jealous here in Ireland. We're looking at the options they have. They have a brilliant squad that's been built over the last 6, 7, 8 years. I think you mentioned England maybe changed their approach to develop their young players. I think a big thing they did was when McLaren fed again into the Euros in 2008. They said we have to really start building,
Yes.
changing our approach. And like it took, they said it's going to take 10, 15 years. And to be fair, they probably came ahead of schedule. Within 10 years, they were in a World Cup in the semi-final in Russia. Probably should have beaten Croatia when they went 1-0 up and had chances to make it 2-0, and they faded away and lost 2-1. So the team have definitely improved during the tournament, and over the last couple of years in the tournaments, they've learned from their mistakes as well, you could say. Now, they got to the World Cup semi-final, 2020, they got to the final, probably could and probably should have beaten that Italian team, let's face it, when you see the state of Italy were this tournament and haven't even qualified for the last World Cup. So England would probably feel they left that behind. Have they learned from it? I think they have. Like, I was impressed with them during I know you said but they're very, very close to going out. But the key thing is, Paul, like we said, you would say they didn't go out. They got the goal against Slovakia. They won the penalty shootout against Switzerland. Southgate, I think, he made the big call, I think, with 10 minutes to go. As you said yourself, I thought near the end, I thought the Dutch were settling for extra time.
Yep.
Now, there was a contentious free where Holland, this was a skate, he fell over. Now, it got a very soft free and the Dutch were going mental. And that was literally a minute before the goal was scored. But to be honest, they had plenty of time to defend it as well. Ollie Watkins and Palmer came on. I think even when Palmer and Watkins were lining up to come on the pitch, Watkins had a feeling, you're going to set me up, Palmer, for the goal. Now, Palmer said, oh, come on, before you got 10 minutes to show up. But to be fair, right on the 90th minute, Palmer plays a great ball into Ollie Watkins, and Watkins hits it early. And I think the only way he could score is if he got it between the defender's legs and beats the goalkeeper. It's a great goal. He's a player of confidence, played a brilliant season at Aston Villa. He's probably been frustrated he hasn't made him come on because Harry Kane, to be fair to Harry Kane, he took his penalty very well and thought he did play better than he did in previous games. So England are coming in, that's probably the best I've seen England play, particularly a first half in the game against the Dutch. That's the best I've seen them play in a long, long time. They controlled the midfield. When you think of England against top nations like this, they don't normally control the midfield.
Exactly. No, sorry, no, for cutting across you. That's a brilliant, excellent point. And very few of these professional podcasters and ex-players mentioned that. 7, 8, 10, 12 years ago, the English players, even the likes of Lampard and Gerrard against the top teams, they lose ball. They couldn't control the ball. But these players can do it. Great point, Noel. Continue on. Well made for that. I'm delighted you made that point.
Yeah, I thought Foden was excellent in the first half. Now, I know he got taken off his fade in the second half, but I thought himself and Bellingham and Declan Rice ran that midfield. I mean, the Dutch couldn't get a kick. After about 10, 15 minutes when I think the Dutch scored in the 11th minute.
Yeah.
I think the English equalised within about around the 20th minute. But from the goal on, and even just literally before the goal, England just completely took over midfield. The Dutch could not get a kick. You could all the noise was coming from English fans. Once they equalised, the Dutch were very quiet because they had nothing to get behind because the English were controlling the midfield. Foden had the ball cleared off the line. He also had the ball that just struck the outside of the post.
That's it, yeah.
So England would have been, I'd say, very frustrated that it was still 1-1, and it should have been ahead. But the Dutch upped the pace in the second half. To be fair, they had a few half chances. I think it actually brought me back to times in the past where the Dutch were actually playing the way England would be playing. Set pieces, corner kicks, a big man up front like Weghorst. I mean, that was the old British style way of playing.
Now, there's nothing, we discussed it before. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with that. As I saying, I like to have a mixture. There's nothing intrinsically wrong with that. But your analysis is correct again.
Yeah, I know, but you're right, because I think there's nothing wrong with the pod, but it would have been if it's the other way around, it'd be more, would be more shocking, because England, the goal that England scored was good build-up play. Cole Palmer, great ball into Ollie Watkins, and Watkins took it early and buried it in the back of the net. So, look, it's going to be a real big game now. This one, Spain, England. Spain have played the best football, I feel, just in terms of, they've only conceded, I think, 2 goals in the whole tournament.
Can I come in there with a question for you, Noel? But Spain, to my knowledge, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Spain have never been under the cosh. The only game they were behind in was against Georgia, and let's be clear, they were always going to beat Georgia. But they were never behind in a real against a team that could potentially beat them. So we don't know
Ah,
and I'm not having a slur against Spain, but England had the gun to their head and they've responded as a team. Can Spain do that if it happens?
well, to be fair, Paul, the French did take a 1-0 lead in the semi-final.
I didn't
So
know. Are you correct in that? I thought Spain
yeah, yeah,
took the lead and France equalised. No,
no, it's the other way around, Paul. No, Spain, France took the lead 1-0
sorry, I
inside the
apologise. You're right.
inside.
I apologise.
Yeah,
I got mixed up with that.
France,
Sorry.
Koulibaly scored the goal in
Yeah,
the
sorry. I
header.
apologise.
That's no problem. And this is Spanish. The defense will accept your apology. But no, they did go 1-0 down. And
Right.
to be honest, they were looking a bit shaky, Paul, because uh, Jesus Neves was playing at right back because Denny Carvajal, of course, got 2 yellow cards in the semi in the quarterfinal against Germany. So there was an opening there for France and Mbappe. Now I have to say Mbappe was terrible on the night, and I think he's to be honest with you, I think he is a bit overrated. To be honest with you, I know he's only 24, but I felt he was playing against a right back that was 36, 37, not a natural right back because he was filling a role, as I
No,
say.
if we're getting that much money that he's getting a week, it's very hard to have your edge the whole time. I
Yeah,
would suggest.
yeah, because I think if that was a French team, the French team haven't played well at all. I mean, I think they've been, but the criticism England were getting it, France were getting it as well from their own media. They were
Yeah.
saying this isn't good enough, and they already scored. That was their first goal from open play in the whole tournament, and that was in the semi-final because they scored a penalty and they scored a couple of own goals. So I think Spain were probably playing a good French side on form because as we know, the
Yeah.
French squad is brilliant. But getting back to the game, I think Spain they were under the cosh. They got the lead. They won 2-1. They made France look very, very ordinary. Now to be fair, they have looked ordinary, but they kept the ball off them. They didn't really pose any threat at all to the Spanish. The Spanish just kept passing around. And now, the only thing I would say though, Paul, is that Spain didn't go for the killer in the second half. They were 2-1 up. They
I didn't
sort
see
of
the second half. No, I
yeah,
didn't see the second half.
I wouldn't say both teams ran out of gas, but I think the Spanish team maybe in the past would have got the third goal to completely finish it off. Like I think Spain, look, they did enough to win the game. They were deserving
That's all that
winners on
matters.
the day, on the day, and they have a day's extra rest now with the
Yes,
against the English. That can play a part in it
we
too.
can
I
indeed.
think I know yourself, Paul. You're confident England will probably win. The new Irish manager will get onto that later on in another podcast. He said he thinks that England are going to win it as well. So look, I don't think it's Aiton outrageous to say England are going to win this game because based on the semi-final performance, I gave England a really, really good chance. But it's a 50-50 game, Paul, and that's all in the day, to be fair.
Yeah, you made great points there. But again, I know I'm repeating myself now, but I think it's crucial, Noel, and I cannot understand, as I say, these ex-players and ex-managers and professional pundits. I'm not talking about the ordinary people on social media making their comments, but the guys who earn their living playing, who know the game. The likes of Ronnie Wheel, I cannot understand that he's not making this point. That the way the England are playing now, like he played in a great Liverpool team that passed the ball around and controlled the game back in the 80s, outstanding team. And England are doing the same thing, and he's criticising. So I don't know it's on an agenda there, as they're being told to do that. I just don't understand it. But England, and also the excellent squad that he has, Southgate is managing it perfectly. And whatever behind the scenes, but on the pitch, when the players are coming on, there's no individuals. They're playing as a team. There's none of them going off and doing their own thing, and that's what it always shows on the pitch. So he has to be given credit for that. And it's amazing now to be grudging, slowly starting to be grudging respect for him and compliments for him. Because it's a hard thing to manage a talented squad as well, because you're talking about players who are with the big clubs in England, and he's working them and he's bringing them on and they're having an impact. And that's a great sign of a manager. When Alex Ferguson was doing that, they couldn't praise him enough. Or when Arsene Wenger was doing it, I'm just picking them two out, who said, you could name any manager. Mourinho, for example, when he brought on his sub and he worked, they were shouting him with praise. Southgate is doing it, and he's getting criticism.
I think the same with Southgate is no. I think some criticism was legitimate because on the players he had, they were expected to be able to beat, let's say, Slovenia and Slovenia nil-all. No, any English team, to be fair, should be beating Slovenia in any whether it's group qualifier, group stage in the tournament, whatever. You would expect, to be fair. I was very surprised. No, I wasn't able to watch the game. No, I think fortunately I wasn't able
But
to watch
not in the group stage, no. I'm sorry, no, I disagree with you. Not in the group stage early on. It's not about winning, it's just about getting you into stride. We'll say, you know what? There's